Hey. Good, good. All right, yeah. I'm good.
Live.
All right, Shalom. I want to start by saying all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to the apostles of Gms Toronto. Salutations to the elect out there, pushing the truth on the highways and byways. All right, coming back once again, prophesying the downfall of this sinful kingdom, this wicked kingdom, all right, which is on its way out. You know, you can pretty much stick a fork in this place is done. You know, this place is finished, man. Get Isaiah 28.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 16, it says, therefore thus saith the Lord power. 14. It says, wherefore hear the word of the Lord Yahushai, ye scornful men that rule this people which is in Jerusalem.
Yeah, so the Most High is talking to you Israelites, you top Israelites too, because your judgment is coming as well, man. Alright? Because a lot of you guys are wicked, man. Majority of you are wicked. A lot of you watch our videos as well. You watch the apostles, right? You get certain jewels from them, you know, but you don't give credit, man. You know? And you're not teaching the people, man. You're not warning them. Right, go ahead.
It says, verse 15, because he have said, we have made a covenant with death.
And that's you Israelites, man. Yeah. All you tribes. That's all you tribes, man. You made a covenant with death, man. Right? All these local like Toronto rappers, man. You guys are sucking your daddy Drake's dick. You know, trying to get up to the next level. The sixth god, the homo. Right? Well, that's what it's going into. You have made a covenant with death, man. Go ahead.
It says, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourges shall pass through, it shall not come unto us.
What are the scourges, man? Right? It's all these plagues the Most High is bringing out, man. I was watching a thing today in Mexico. This one cop, he was going into the cartels, and he was going into how that thing. What do they do? What's the witchcraft over there called?
Oh, brujeria.
Yeah, brujeria, right? And they worship a demon called Santa Muerte.
Santa Muerte.
Right, which is Saint Death. And he said basically the cartels do it, and then he said it's everyday people as well, because it comes from, they use Roman Catholicism to cloak it, and they worship all these demons, all these deities. And he said that he's seen all these things, right? And basically he said that it's coming up to the States because the cartels are operating as well. And he said through law enforcement they call him and they consult him because they ask about when they raid certain houses, they find that statue, Saint Death. But sometimes it's like he's in all black, or sometimes it's like a rainbow. And he was breaking it down how they all have their significance. And he said that basically the cartel, when it's all black, that's like that demon given authorization for him to kill anybody, right? And he said they look at themselves as agents of death. So that's what we're reading right now. All you tribes, man. Why is there so much death in Mexico? Because even the everyday people, you guys worship Saint Death, man.
They tattoo themselves.
You know?
13, I remember that video.
Well, that's a little more self. That's like that's like Guatemala.
Yeah, I see that documentary.
Yeah, they do the same shit.
They worship a death god. And they'll tell you straight up, they know about the 666. They pray to it. They love that.
So you made a covenant with death, man.
That's right.
You know?
It says, when the overflowing scourges shall pass through.
And you know what's funny too? He said that one of the top cartels, he didn't go into it, but he said coincidentally, he made friends with a Mossad agent. How the fuck you make friends with a Mossad agent? And the Mossad agent, he's the one that showed him how to get rid of bodies on the industrial level with the chemicals. Right? So he said one time the Mexican police were somewhere, and one of his partners, he stepped in one of the holes where they had the bodies, and he had to go to the hospital because the acid started eating his leg, his foot. And then they found all those bodies, and he said the smell is unforgettable. Right? That stench, he said I can't go to a Korean barbecue restaurant anymore. It just reminds me of that smell. So you Jakes, man, you down there, all you tribes, man, Zebulon, Asher, Ephraim, all you tribes, man, you made a covenant with death, man. So when all hell breaks loose and you start dying, don't complain, right? Because the joys and the happiness is from the Lord, and you guys try to mingle that with death.
Sure. Because
Yeah,
one of the top
culture of
ones,
death.
one of the top ones, what's that gang called?
MS-13.
MS-13. They're one of the top ones, and they're straight being out, man.
Yeah,
they always
do the
told the
double
horns.
Yeah, they'll get a horn tattoo.
Yeah, that's right.
And the way they killed Jake is terrifying,
Oh,
man.
man.
You know? The same thing the police was saying. He's like, when he first started, his job was to go around places where the cartel hung people, and he had to cut them down. And he was like horrified or whatever, because he said there was 4 people, three were you could still bury, like have an open casket, and then he's like there's a 4th one, and he's like what was remaining of him, so I guess they cut him up or whatever they did to him. But he's like, one of the top police looked at him, he's like that's nice. He's like, that's being kind. He's like, that's them being kind. He's like, how is that being kind? He's like, because they can still have like an open casket. He's like, the way they do other people,
They take
you know,
out the eye,
they might
this, that.
chainsaw you, do all kinds of shit. You know, but Esau's the one sliding off into the sunset, man. You know, making all the money from the drug trade. You know? Right?
It says, when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Therefore, thus said the Lord power, Yahweh, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone,
I see how we shall do it.
a sure foundation, and he that believeth shall not make haste.
Yeah.
Judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet, and the hill shall sweep away the refuge of lives, and the waters shall overflow the hiding place.
Yeah, so Most High's coming, he's gonna wipe out all this shit, all this nasty shit. Most High's gonna wipe it out.
Everything scourging.
You know? Because all you Jakes, you're engulfed in this shit. Jake is bugged the fuck up, and you guys make some Catholicism, witchcraft, which is both witchcraft, really. You know? And you can't tell Jake shit, man. So guess what? Death is coming to you, man.
That's right.
If you don't repent, death is coming to you, your family, your loved ones, everything that you hold dear, death is coming to you, man.
It says, and your covenant with death shall be disannulled.
Yeah, so Most High's cutting off that contract, man. Go ahead.
And your agreement with hell shall not stand. Overflowing scourges shall pass through, then he shall be trodden down by it. From time that it goeth forth, it you for morning by morning shall it take Passover, by day and by night. And it shall be a vexation only to understand the report. For the bed is shorter than that a man can stretch himself on it, and the covering narrow than that he can wrap himself in it.
Yeah, so you're not going to be able to hide. There's going to be no cloak. Because this thing that's gone out, this thing is finished, right? This ministry that the brothers are doing is basically done, man. It's basically finished. You know, the apostles have been out for decades, man. We've been out here for years. You know, we're at the last thing of this, man. You know, soon we're not gonna be out here, man. You know, we're just fulfilling our obligations, man. But we gotta be out here on the highways. But this thing's not gonna stand. When these bodies start dropping because of you know what, all hell's gonna break
We
loose,
don't
man.
even need to say it no more.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what?
Huh.
Verse 21. For the Lord shall rise up as a mountain and Perazim. He shall be worth as in the valley of Gibeon, that he may do his work, his strange work, and bring to pass his act, his strange act. Hey, you know what that is? It's like what he did 2,000 years ago with the flood. That's a strange thing. Yeah, with the flood. Right? A strange act, something that you never seen before.
Egypt too.
In Egypt,
all the plagues.
all those things.
Yeah, the Most High in the wilderness, he made a new thing happen, right? He made the earth swallow up all those jakes, man. Those wicked Israelites. That's crazy, man.
Open up
You're
the
just
water,
falling
man.
into the fucking abyss, man.
Yep.
He said that was a new thing. So guess what? There's gonna be a lot more new things, man. Right?
It says, verse
Talk
22.
about new creatures.
Yep.
Yeah, but they're just discovering new creatures right now.
Yeah.
They are.
Things that they never seen in existence. With lightning power. That creatures will have will create lightning. Like in things, man.
Top of that, they never really discovered all the ocean yet.
They'll never discover
They
it.
should also what's in the sea.
I seen a thing today where they showed and Esau always has this shit, new scientific. Yeah. The Most High, he showed Jake what's up, man, from years ago, right? But they showed the depth of the ocean. They showed like they kind of what do you use like a similarity. They showed the Eiffel Tower and they kept going down, and then they showed the CN Tower, and then they showed the Tower of New York, and then it still kept going down. That shit, like the ocean is crazy, man. Just keeps you can't find it, man. You can't find the depth of it. Esau made that movie The Core years ago. Remember The Core? They allegedly went into the core of the core. That wasn't real.
That's fake.
Because the guy that made the metal, it was a Jake. He's like, look, this metal will protect us from the pressure, because all the pressure. But there's no breakthrough material.
Exactly.
New material that oh look, this can last all those tens of thousands of miles in the ocean. And we already know what's lurking in the ocean. Most High has that thing reserved, man.
Sure.
That's another spectacle.
It says, verse 22. Now therefore be ye not mockers, lest your bands be made strong. For I have heard from the Lord power, Yahweh of hosts, a consumption, even a deterrent upon the whole earth.
This is Slaki. Let's check it. First Maccabees 1 and 11. It says, in those days when they're out of Israel, wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
Yeah, so it's a covenant with the heathen. You're making a covenant with death. It's the same thing. You know? So just like when you hear in the news, oh, 16, 17-year-old boy was shot, and then you hear it's always a woman who's a good kid, never made any trouble. Well, he was a demon, man.
That's right.
Little do you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, he said hi to you in the hallway, or you know, he did certain things, but he was a demon. Most I got rid of it, right? And that whole thing with the two-thirds, with two-thirds killing each other, that's actually the fear of the Lord, because it tells you in the book Isaiah, peace.
Yes.
Right? The fury of the Lord is in them.
Yeah.
That's a curse within the person.
Yeah. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
So just like the women, a lot of women here in this man are dykes, man, carpet munchers, right? So where do you get the license to do that? Where do you get the influence, man? It's from your daddy, Esau. Your daddy Esau, man, he gave you the license to do that shit, right? And you think it's right because he said it's right, you know?
That was the point.
That was it, yeah. Isaiah 29:9. Stay yourself, and wonder, cry it out and cry. They're drunken, but not with wine. They're staggered, but not with strong drink. With the Lord Yahweh, I pour out upon you the spirit of the deep sleep. That's Jack right now. And how close your eyes, the prophets of your rulers, the seers have covered. Right? Because right now, the door is closing right now. Right? There's no more time in this place. So we're here week in and week out to prophesy downfall of this wicked kingdom. And you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Americans, you still think you're not making in this place.
That was it?
Yeah, that was
This is Jeremiah 5:26. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men. As a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. Therefore they are become great and waxing rich. They are waxing fat. They shine, yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked.
Hey, just like when it said they catch men, what does Jake call it? He calls it, oh, you're slipping. I call you slipping, right?
Yeah.
Some Jakes will wait outside 40, 50 minutes, see the guy come, you know, do his thing. You know? This is all in the scriptures, man. You know? That's all in the scriptures, man. You know? So you want to perpetuate death, right? And then when death comes to you, you know, you get bugged out. You get sorrowful. You want to turn to righteousness. But guess what? The wages of sin is death. You know?
It says they are waxing fat. They shine. They overpass the deeds of the wicked.
Yeah, Jake is shining right now. There's no doubt, right? You guys are shining. You're doing your thing, but you guys are sick. You guys are sick, man. You're really sick in the head. You got a bunch of demons on you, man. Yeah, you're on drugs. You're on witchcraft. You know?
And the Most High is letting us know how they got that shine in this world. It says they shine, yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. They judge not the cause of the fatherless, yet they prosper. And the right of the needy do they not judge. Shall I not visit for these things, said the Lord? Shall not my soul be avenged of such a nation as this? That was the point.
Should I not upset for this, man? He's telling you how he feels. That's what he feels.
Yeah. Most time business, man. There's no the judgment has been set. There's no, oh, we're sorry and we're gonna turn around. In the most side business, man, it's carnage, bro. It's destruction.
Isaiah 4:16 says, for Israel slided back as a backsliding heifer. Now the Lord Yahweh will feed them as a lamb in a large place. Ephraim is joined to idols, let him alone. Their drink is sour. They have committed whoredom continually. Her rulers with shame do love ye. The wind had bound her up in her wings. They shall be ashamed because of their sacrifices. Yep. You know, they mentioned the northern tribe earlier, verse 13. And obviously the Israel that's the side really judgment on them, man.
Yeah, which goes all the way back to when they, who was it? When they linked up to kill the Hamite, that, Simeon and Levi. Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. Instruments of cruelty. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And a lot of the deities that you get, especially in West Africa, a lot of it is from Levi. Levi's heavy into the dark side, man.
Yeah.
Heavy, man.
Yeah, man. There's and then the one thing with the tribes is you look at Esau and you wonder why is there a hedge around him. You don't wonder. There's this one guy I watch, man. He basically goes to Jake's countries, right? He's a Temanite, but he's from South Africa.
Oh yeah, no.
And
A lot of them in South Africa.
he goes to PR, he goes to Haiti, Brazil, he goes. I didn't see him in Brazil, but I seen him in Venezuela. And this dude just walking around by himself, right?
Good.
And when he went to Peru, he's walking up this place, and every other subtitles, they're like, don't go up there, they're gonna rob you, don't go up there. They keep telling him, they're gonna rob you, like, where you know, like, are you by yourself, So then he goes up, and then he goes down, all the, like it's like steps all the way down, but it's like in Brazil with the favelas, it's like, it's sketchy. And there's one guy in the corner, he's like, are you by yourself? He's like, when you go down there, they're gonna rob you for your camera. And he's just walking through, and one guy in the comment board was like, bro, you're crazy. I'm comfortable. I don't go to that area. That area is crazy.
Yeah.
There's Jake Connington. There's one Jake, he's like, there's a kid from Peru, he used to live there. He moved to the States, but then he had to move back. And then the last time we heard from him, he got stabbed in the neck like 12 times over there. He died. And he walking, he's like, yeah, guys, this place looks kind of sketchy, and he's doing this thing. He's like Tubo King.
There was
Nobody's touching him.
another Edomite went to Venezuela. He was doing the same thing.
I think it's the same guy.
Russian guy.
He has like a Temanite accent. He's blonde hair.
Probably the same guy.
Man, you know?
No fear.
No.
And look how Jake killed their own brother though. Stabbed him in his neck.
in his neck. Yeah. So, yeah, man, that's, you know, you Jakes, you don't consider your ways, man.
Yeah.
There's a scripture like that. He said, you don't consider your ways. You don't know what the hell is going on. You know?
Quick reset. This is Psalm 73 and 4. Where there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not troubled as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasses them about as a chain, violence covered them as a garment. Pretty much the point being that Esau's good, but he's untouchable, man. You know, you can walk a river and not get touched. We have a thing called gentrification. You know, coming to your hood, you know. Esau's moving back to the hood.
That's right.
You guys are not doing nothing about it. You know what I mean? He's building up the Starbuckses. All right, he's putting the Krispy Kreme donut restaurants and stuff like that in the corner. You know what I mean? But you people don't understand that's a form of war, man. All right, against you
And your family.
and your family.
That you claim that you protect,
Right.
which you don't.
Right.
Your whole life, like how many guys died downtown, Regent Park, protecting the block.
Block.
But as soon as Esau came with the bulldozer, he wasn't riding. Nobody was riding.
Fine.
Everybody had to leave.
Yep.
But he had to pack up and leave, man.
You know what I say? You only have strength for your own brother. You don't have strength to take on you.
Not at all. No.
You have strength to kill your own brother in the street. For nothing at all. You have no strength.
Hey, Jake will sell you off for anything.
There's no region park, man.
What's that?
Exactly.
There's no region park, man. And that's coming to all, you know, they just want you out. You know?
Right. Even over by Jada Finch there, they have the LRT. They're building the LRT.
They're not doing it for you, Jake.
Yeah.
As long as Jake's in there,
They're not doing it for you guys there.
because they're building
Building
those
condos. They're building condos
Yeah.
there too. You know? So I'm looking at the map and seeing the different ends to Driftwood, Tin, you know, different ends.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, these are blocks. But yo, Esau's doing, like trying to get you out your own hood, man.
Yep.
And they're gonna move
Esau's
them
not
somewhere.
playing, man. He's building
that construction here. And it's like a pestilence. You got to deal with it. But then when Esau's shit gets built up, his shit's ready. It's
Right,
Not,
it's
there's no
ready to
construction.
go,
And
man.
none of
The
it is
roads
going to
will
be
be
a
nice.
benefit to you.
The
Exactly.
roads are going to be nice, you know?
Exactly. And after the construction, when everything is done, now the Edomites can move in. No more congestion.
That's gonna be
Roads are
an
going to be running
affluent
smooth.
community there.
Yeah.
You know, businesses are gonna want to go there.
Yep.
Traffic, right?
If this kingdom was supposed to
Business.
go on,
Yeah, that's right.
you'd ask Edomite, hey, where you from? I'm from Jada Finch.
You know what I mean?
And really and truly, what's happening is that the city's being built up so beautiful, so fast. And when I say beautiful, I mean with the new condos and all of that, the prices going up. It's really meant to push you Jakes out of the city.
Yeah.
You're not even supposed to be here because really and truly, you can't afford it. You really can't even afford to live in this city called Toronto. This is Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon hath been a cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. And that's one of the drunkenness, man. To where you see an Edomite and literally fear comes over them. I'm talking about they go to, brother talked about South America, they do this in Jamaica. You'll see the Jehovah Witness in Jamaica and they walk anywhere, any hood, anywhere, pushing their Jehovah Witness ideology. That shouldn't be allowed. That shouldn't be allowed. Are you Jakes? Can you come to Canada and go preach your Rastafarian ideology? Go into rich neighborhoods, knock on their door, hey, I want to spread the word of Selassie. Can't do that.
There was a Jake a few months ago that happened. He was walking and the Edomite pulled over in his truck. He's like, what are you doing here? He's like, you live here? They called the police. See? Yeah, you heard about that. Yeah, I gotta say that.
Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken her of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And it's I just read this just to show you that the shine that Esau has, which he does have a shine, that hedge that he has that's been given to him since Cain, is still prominent today, man. It's still very, very prominent today, man. You don't want to put your hands on an Edomite. Are you crazy? You don't even think that. That's not even a thought that comes to your brain, man. Esau might be doing the most annoying shit, and you want to punch him, and he'll look at you and be like, you want to punch me, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, he'll say dumb shit like that, but you don't. You don't put your hands on him. You never will.
It says, this is Genesis 4:14. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And Esau, what is a fugitive? It's basically a criminal
From
fleeing
justice.
from justice.
Yeah.
That's what you Edomites are. And a vagabond is a person that moves from place to place. He doesn't have a home.
And that's exactly how we look at him too. He is a fugitive.
That's right.
Because he has committed so many crimes against humanity, and he's never faced them.
And nobody can call him out.
Exactly. No.
Well, we're calling him
Yeah,
out.
we're calling him
But I
out.
mean, no one can
Yeah,
put
come on.
nothing to it. Like, can't put a judgment.
Hey, just like what's his name? You made a good point. Just like all the presidents, like if you just look at the U.S. presidents, you've had countries that said, oh, like George W. Bush, you'd be like, oh, he should be arrested because of A, B, C, and D. But can you? No.
The international.
Yeah, exactly. I can't. Yeah, exactly. But can they go? Where are you gonna go? You're gonna go to the United States and grab it?
Hey man, I think last year or 2 years ago, they had a guy from SS General. They wheeled him in his fucking
Oh yeah.
wheelchair
The man's maybe
with an air
100
tank.
years.
He had an air tank, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna be tried for the Holocaust." And
The man's not even understanding what the hell you're talking about. He's just there. Yes, dementia. He's just like,
where am I?
yeah. Oh man.
And you Edomites push that justice shit, right? Because look at Sleepy Joe, right? They're like, oh, they're blaming him for not building up Afghanistan. He's like, oh, the only reason we went in there is to. He already said it, but he's basically like to get justice from the people that did 9/11 or some shit like that. But he had the word justice in it. You know? So it says, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord Yahweh said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord Yahweh set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. Right? So sevenfold, man. You know, you already know not to mess with the human. That's it.
Look at the TV show that we watched with the book of Canaan, when they shot the cop, and then the cops descended on the hood in their neighborhood with the friggin' quickness, man. Everybody had to be locked up in their house. They couldn't be on the road at that time. Yeah, it's not safe to be out right now. Right? And you could see the fear in them, man. And these were quote-unquote gangsters. And fear descended upon them. What happened there? What happened to all that gang shit? What happened? That shit went out the window quick.
You jakes are full of shit, man.
Yeah, you jakes are actually full of shit, man. You're literally full of shit. And to be honest, you jakes are actually you're the punks of our nation. You jakes, you're the punks of our nation, because the Most High doesn't deal with big groups. And you guys who are in gangs, a gang is just a protection because you came from a broken home. That whole structure of a gang, you got drawn into that gang because you had a broken home. You never had a father in the home. You were seeking validation from men because you couldn't find that masculine energy at home. It's actually psychological why you're in a damn gang. It's actually not a cool thing to be in a gang. To be in a gang means that you're actually broken, man. There's something that you're missing. Because as men, you should have what? You should have your tribe. In your gang, you might have an East Indian, you might have a Chinese. Oh, he's cool. He's one guy. He's a cool Chinese man. He's down. Yeah, China man. Down. Cool guy, man. He's a gangster too. Right?
He's one of us.
Yeah, he's one of us. No, but we brothers, you're supposed to be joined by your tribe, man. Right? And then once you're joined by your tribe, then look, we have a whole damn nation.
Right.
We have a whole nation. So your gang is supposed to be your tribe, man. That's why when you say your name, you say Bun.
Tribe. I had a big reason this week with a friggin' nunskull. He's a Jake. He's a Jake, but he doesn't know that he's an Israelite. He doesn't know nothing. But he's in the Muslim. He prays to Allah. Yeah, but I'm saying, yo, why don't you find God in your own image and likeness? Why don't you go back to your own roots, you know? Find who you are. And you know, why you going into the Muslim world and saying, oh, you can come, you know, to join their crap. And I had to cut him up. And we're going back and forth. We're going back and forth. And I'm like, yo, you can't do it, Jake.
No.
It's like, what you got this other doctrines of these other nations. Like my brother's talking about, they're trying to bring in other nations into, like anybody can join them, you know? They're trying to bring them in. So, we say, cool. I'm just trying to show them, yo, come on at that way, you join in these people in their fuckery, you know? Come on at that and find your own truth. Your own God. I'm trying to reason with man and chop him up, which I did chop him up. Man, I don't know, man, they're always going to be bugged up.
They're blind, man.
Yeah. Still going to go through 5
Remember,
years.
the Lord said, let them alone.
Yeah.
Let them alone, man.
Wash your hands and leave them alone.
It's like
It was
possible. Tahar will say there's no time for debate,
Kind.
right? You're just gonna leave them alone because the more you try to talk to them, they don't get it. They don't really get it.
But the thing about it with this Jake, like they're so bugged out, like they gotta be right in their Muslim
Yes.
world. So I said, yo, read 2nd Surah chapter 2 verse 47. And I told him he's trying to read in Muslim, like in Arabic or whatever. I'm like, bro, nobody understands that. Nobody saying, I gotta pull it up. And listen, I I bestow unto Israel the special favor. Like, I chopped him up so bad, bro, man. Just have his mouth, you know? Just was weird, man. This was a crazy week, yo.
You should know, bro.
Yeah, I know. But just dealing with these dumb guys, you know? Because they know, man, they're Israelites, right? So they have their own philosophy that they go into. But I'm trying to show him, like, bro, because my next man's telling him, oh, you should talk to me to get back to himself, because he basically going to the Muslim people church to go in their world and pray and do all this crap. And after the whole debate, he's asking me if I would want to come to his church to months. I'm like, bro, get out of here, bro. You think I don't know about that, man? That's a gang. That mosque church thing was a gang, bro. You can't leave that mosque. If any of you leave that, they want to kill you, bro.
Bring on the scripture. We got scripture.
Yeah.
You did have one? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
This is Ecclesiasticus 1:1.
This is going into the siege. What's going to happen in the siege? What happened already, past tense. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 52. It says, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates, unto thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trusted, throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord power Yahweh has given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, the flesh of thy sons and of daughters, which the Lord thy power Yahweh has given thee in the siege.
Yeah, that's coming. That was in the ancient world in Rome. But guess what? That's coming here as well.
Right.
When you read about the siege of what was that fort called? Masada? The last stronghold. Yeah, Jake's eating their shoes, leather, you know? And then they just start eating each other, man. You know? So that's what's coming to this man.
It says, which the Lord power Yahweh has given thee in the siege, and in the straitness therewith thy enemies shall distress thee. So that, like, you know, the enemies were going to distress thee. We're being distressed right now in this kingdom. These people are being distressed right now. This is Jacob's trouble, man.
We're
So
not
that
in it
time,
yet.
yeah,
We're not in
it's
it.
never
So
reached
you're
full
gonna know.
blown, but you're gonna know when it happens, when it hits, when you hit rock bottom. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother,
Yep.
and towards the wife of his bosom.
That's all that gangbanging shit. That's the curses, man. Right? Because you look at your brother like as your enemy. Well, that's part of the curses, man. Right?
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat, because he hath left him in the siege, and in the straitness therewith thy enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground of her delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter.
Yeah, and you're tender and delicate. You don't think of these women anymore, but that was these women at one time. Tender and delicate, man. Now they're all masculine.
Those women wouldn't even look a man in his face, in his in his eye.
Yeah.
I apologize. They would look down to the ground.
It says, her eyes shall be evil toward her husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet.
And that look, her eye shall be evil. That's an infamous look with the women of our tribe. Sometimes you even catch them. Sometimes you'll have your back turned and you catch a woman and she's giving you an evil look.
I catch them. I catch them.
Sometimes they kept rolling their eyes.
seen that.
You catch them. Sometimes you catch them.
With
But that's
hatred.
that's that hate. But that's the curse.
Yeah.
You understand? It's that curse, bro. Right? And when they describe you men on the sign, they lump us all in one category. Right? If one Israelite man burns her, she's gonna be like, oh yeah, all you guys are like that. That's that hatred, man.
It says,
I can say also that there's like actual Twitter group on Twitter. It's trying to
1 hour.
Our colleagues. Actually, it's not led by black women. It's about the hatred.
That's right.
So hold on, where's surviving Epstein?
Epstein.
And where's the other guy? What's that other fat
the
coward?
fat one.
Big fat yeah, the movie director guy. What is his name?
Epstein and shit, man. Weinstein.
Weinstein, Goldstein.
Yeah, it's all the same. All bunch of pedophiles. Yeah.
You know?
Man, they're stealing. It says, all the stealings. And towards her children, which she shall bear.
Have you hear stories of Jake women, man? Killing their children, man. Just killing them, man. Abortion, let alone that.
My boy, a guy I know, he has his
But there's a thing right there. There's a sticker that says "Her body, her choice."
Yeah, Khan.
see that?
Khan.
He has his baby mom threatening him on the phone, saying, "I'm gonna kill your babies. I'm gonna slice her baby's neck." And he got it recorded, so he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna freaking report this girl to the police." This guy's like, "Yo, this girl's threatening my youth."
Well, that's an unstable woman.
You know?
These women, they don't know about tonics. They don't know about douche, what a douche is. They don't want to spell douche. They don't even drink water,
You
right?
don't do that racist stuff.
No, but that's why brothers don't understand that the dietary law is there for a reason. So once a woman gives birth, her hormones are going to be thrown out of whack. That's why before she gives birth, she needs to be on a good diet. That good diet is going to balance her hormones. These women, they're still smoking and drinking sometimes. They're completely messed up. So now when you have the child, the child is literally going to throw you off. You won't be able to, you won't mentally, emotionally, spiritually be able to deal with a child. That's why these women usually sometimes harm the child after they give birth, and they don't have the patience for that. Because the foods make them edgy. They know they can't drink, they can't smoke, they're going through that withdrawal. A woman's not supposed to be going through that, man.
That's why.
That's dangerous, man.
One of the curses, one of the is burning,
Con,
which is inflammation.
which is inflammation.
All you're eating is inflammation food, man.
Yeah.
You're not eating food that's a tonic. That's why Jake has a tonic. What is a tonic? Tonic means tonic, strengthen. You have liver tonics, kidney tonics, brain tonics.
No, you're good. You're good.
Touch the camera.
No, you're good.
Right, you have all kinds of different tonics, right? These women, you have uterine tonics. That's nigga tonic, man.
Yeah, that's negative.
It says, "For she shall eat them for want of all things."
Yep. That's what's coming, man. These curses, man. We're telling you, we're letting you know that cannibalism is gonna be prevalent, man.
Bro,
You
it's
see
gonna let the walking
You see the
dead.
prices?
Oh,
Yeah. Gone up.
I'm gonna mention alcohol because that's one of my businesses. But even Hennessy just went up another quarter. Hennessy went up to 70. Now it's 70.25. Those are huge jumps.
Big time.
It used to be 67. It used to be 67. It used to be 65. Now it's 70.25. And that's a huge jump.
That's a big jump, bro. Yeah, money. They're playing with the people.
every week we gotta mention the gas.
Man,
gas is
because they just mentioned it now.
Yeah.
After all these months, they're just mentioning it now. We told you guys. Told you. And it's winter.
They said that's the highest gas price ever in Toronto.
Oh my gosh.
Right? 144. Yeah. Well, that's 144. That's the speed.
Ah, Con.
It says,
Hey, we told you, wait till it hits $2, $3, man.
Jeez.
Well,
Then the truckers are gonna get
hold
involved.
on. If the cheaper guy is 144, the other one's $1.79.
Yeah.
91?
yeah.
Yeah, the
premium,
top.
Yeah.
94, 91.
And I gotta get
It's
premium.
$1.75. $1.75.
Get premium.
I was at the pump and I actually see
You gotta get
$3. The person put in $3, so that's the time that we're coming into, man.
Man, that's rough.
Serious.
That means he had a tuning.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you gotta do that, man. Yeah, man. Sometimes,
That's just to make it.
yeah. Sometimes you're like this. You're
That's just you don't want to go past the video.
You're gonna start seeing people. Hold on. You're gonna start seeing people pumping gas and just drive away.
Oh yeah, God.
You don't wanna,
That's why that sticker that said gas theft is a serious crime.
yeah.
That affects us all.
Oh, you're gonna see that soon.
No, but that's why they have the prepaid pumps now. At night or a certain time,
Yeah.
you have to freaking go to this booth, pay them cash,
Yeah.
and then go pump the
Yeah.
gas. They're not letting it happen. They're using this pump. You know? So anyways, with the scripture
Hey,
here,
you see Europe right now, if you're keeping your eyes on Europe, worldwide, but Europe is going through a gas crisis right now. Right? And the gas is not only for the car, it's for to heat the house, man.
Yeah, Con.
Winter's coming. Right?
and scripture always tells you, don't have your flight be in winter.
Pray
I
that
pray
your
that don't
flight-
flight be in winter, man. And, I keep thinking that scripture always goes to the back of my head. Now it just pops in my head like, winter time is a
Well, we experienced like a week.
Yeah.
Like a week of no heat.
Yeah.
Like around a week and a half, no heat.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So in the winter, man, after the first night, the second night, you're cold. You're feeling it, man. Because that cold just comes in. There's nothing
Comes in
else.
through the windows, through
Better,
the door,
you know?
wherever it's coming through, man. It comes, it gets you, man. It just gets you. Yeah, it gets you. It says, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thy enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. So if thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and plagues of the seed, and great plagues, and of the long continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of.
You got bugged out Issachar. They're swallowing down Coca-Cola over there in Mexico, right? Because for some bugged out reason, in the video, the lady's like, "Oh, drinking this gives you benefits. She said it gets you healthy." But then they said people are dying in crazy amounts from diabetes. Jake is just bugged out. You know, you talk about Coca-Cola making how many millions of dollars off them. You tell them they're wicked, they're gonna curse you out.
That's right.
You got the brothers down there, GMS Mexico. You know? That's why this is all part of the curses, man. It's just a bunch of diseases, man. And then Jake says some stupid shit like, "Oh, I have it's genetics. I got diabetes in my family." Well, that's because your family doesn't keep the dietary laws, man. You know?
Verse 60, moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also, every sickness and
No one
every
gave a shit
plague.
about. No one gave a shit about health. Now everyone's saying, "Oh, wear your mask, take the jab." You know? Oh, you gotta build your immune system. You know?
Hey, remember before COVID even came, we used to speak about all the gluttonous things that these people were doing with these with these different challenges, right?
Oh yeah.
They had different challenges where they would sit down and eat a whole bunch of
Mukbang.
Yeah.
and some what is it called?
Mukbang.
Get thank the water. And we used to talk about it because that used to be huge. There's people that got rich off of that.
Millions.
People made millions
Millions
just
after that.
sitting there and eating.
all those
And then people would watch
yeah.
and do the same thing to be like, oh, who could eat the most of this or eat the most of that?
Do you remember they had one with the friggin' bugs? Like, what was it, cockroaches?
Yeah.
And who could eat the cockroaches, the most cockroaches of the tank? At Ivar's house. We were watching that one time at Ivar's house. And basically, one of them ate a poisonous cockroach that was in the tank. And he ate that shit and he died. They just killed his ass. Eating all these freaking bugs and shit. It was like weird. They always have these fantasies of weird shit that Jake always, always puts on there.
You have the Ammonites doing their challenges too. Eating all type of weird sea creatures. You know? But just since we're on that topic of challenges, this whole thing with challenges is retarded, man. That's a bugged out thing, man. And then that crate challenge, there was a few where there was a bunch of shootings. Jake's doing the crate and that got shut up, man.
Two people dead,
Jake's
I
so
guess,
stupid, man.
Some people end up in hospital with broken backs and shit, falling off those crates. Like, it's crazy.
Idle and volley, man. Volley business, man.
You're going to war right now and you're climbing crates. You're going to war and you're climbing crates.
Why would a grown ass man go?
Wow. It says 61. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until
how did he do that?
thou be destroyed.
He did that through Esau, which is a sword, just like AIDS. Right? Esau wants to tell you it was two monkeys, and then it got trans. That was Esau that created that shit.
Yeah, put it together.
That's a disease that destroys your immune system. Right? That's a new disease. You know?
It says, verse
And it was
62.
actually one of the popes. It was one of the popes that helped create that virus that you're talking about. The AIDS. I think it's probably the current
John Paul.
pope. No, it wasn't John. I don't think it was John Paul. It was one of them that helped to create that. Yeah, exactly.
But they allowed it to happen. It says 62. It says, and he shall be left few in numbers, whereas he were as stars of heaven for the multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy power, Yahweh, and it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught, and he shall be plucked from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it. And the Lord power Yahweh shall scatter thee among all the people from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods to thee, which is happening, which neither nor thou nor
Hey, it's just like
thy fathers
it's just like
have
a Jake.
known.
It's just like a Jake uplifting a wicked woman that does harm to him. You know. So the Most High, he turned his eye on us for a while, a blind eye in our wickedness, and we keep messing around, man, with other nations, wickedness, right? So then the Most High gave us unto ruin, man.
It says, even wood and stone that these both people are worshiping, following the other nations. Verse 65, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy feet have rest, but the Lord shall give thee their trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow
Yeah,
of
just like we were
mind.
talking about in the ghetto, when you go, you see cash money, fucking, what's that other one, cash money, and then there's the next one. Basically, loans, right? You get loans, money mark, you know, same, payday, cash advances and all that shit, right? Payday loans, Well, you know, so those are all traps, man. You know, those are all things to keep you not at ease. Right? That's why when you go to the road, you see signs, oh, jobs. You see that sign, jobs. Call this number. Because they need the laborers, man. That's all you want, labor. Right? And there's no ease. You're working and you're still more in debt.
Yeah.
You keep working.
Yes.
And you're more in debt.
It says verse 66, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear the day and night, and shall have none assurance of life.
So you're working these shit jobs, you're in debt, come home, you might get shooting. Certain times you gotta watch how we're walking.
Going.
You know?
Life, man. We're gonna wake up tomorrow.
Value of the shadow of death.
He says, in the morning thou shalt say, would Yahweh it were even, and even thou shalt say, would Yahweh if it were morning, for the fear of thy heart, wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thy eyes which thou shalt see, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way thereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
This is Psalms 106, verse 6. We have sinned with our fathers. We have committed iniquity. We have done wickedly. Our fathers understood not thy wonders in Egypt. They remembered not the multitude of thy mercies, but provoked him at the sea, even at the Red Sea. Nevertheless, he saved them for his name's sake, that he might make his mighty power be known. He rebuked the Red Sea also, and it was dried up. So he led them through the depths as through the wilderness, and he saved them from the hand of him that hated them, and redeemed them from the hand of the enemy. And the waters covered their enemies, there was not one of them left. Then believed they his words, they sang his praise. They soon forgot his works. They waited not for his counsel, but lusted exceedingly in the wilderness, and tempted Yahweh in the desert. And he gave them their requests, but sent leanness into their soul. They envied Moses also in the camp, and Aaron, the saint of the Lord. The earth opened and swallowed up Dathan, and covered the company of Abram. And a fire was kindled in their company. The flame burned up the wicked. They made a calf in Horeb, and worshipped the molten image. Thus they changed their glory into the similitude of an ox that eateth grass. They forgot Yahweh their Savior, which had done great things in Egypt, wondrous works in the land of Ham, and terrible things by the Red Sea. Therefore he said that he would destroy them. Had not Moses, his chosen, stood before him in the breach to turn away his wrath, lest he should destroy them. Yea, they despised the pleasant land. They believed not his word, but murmured in their tents, and hearkened not unto the voice of the Lord. Therefore he lifted up his hand against them, to overthrow them in the wilderness, to overthrow their seed also among the nations, and to scatter them in the lands. They joined themselves also unto Baal Peor, and ate the sacrifices of the dead, like the brother was talking about. Thus they provoked him to anger with their inventions, and the plague brake in upon them. They stood up Phinehas, and executed judgment, and so the plague was stayed, and that was counted unto him for righteousness unto all generations forevermore. They angered him also at the waters of strife, so that it went ill with Moses for their sakes, because they provoked his spirit, so that he spake unadvisedly with his lips. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. And they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. Yea, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. Thus were they defiled with their own works, and went a-whoring with their own inventions. Therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled against his people, insomuch that he abhorred his own inheritance, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hands. Many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel, and were brought low for their iniquity. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction when he heard their cry, and he remembered them, his covenant, and repented according to the multitude of his mercies. He made them also to be pitied of all those
Take a picture
that carry.
on the side.
Only the sign.
I like the line.
Yo, don't take no pictures of us.
Yeah, just the line.
Okay. He made them also to be pitied of all those that carried them captives. That was the point. That was the angel.
No.
Sorry, guys.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to
It's supposed to show how Israel is so stiff-necked, man. And if you so forgetful, man. All the things that the Most High had done for Israel, you know, saved them out of the captivity of Egypt, the Red Sea there. They forgot the wonders, works that the Most High did, man. The plagues that he sent. And then they'd go and turn their back on the Most High and build up a golden calf and worship idols. And then get drawn unto the other nations, the heathen, and worship after their gods. You know? So why do you think we're in this predicament now, man? Why do you think you don't know where you are? Or you don't know who you are according to the scriptures, man? You're lost. Our people are in a low state, man. Worse. You know? Rightfully so, because the Most High had to kick our ass, man. You know what I mean? But that's judgment's coming for you, Jace. I don't want to get right, man. No? The door is open still. It's closing, but it's open. This is Jeremiah
There's another one in there.
16
Another. There you go.
and 3. It says, "For thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, and concerning their mothers that bear them, and concerning their fathers that begat them in this land,
Ben. This one in there.
they shall die of grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented, Salah. Neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth." That shit. "And they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine."
And the new sword is the Beetlejuice.
That's right.
Is the snake bite. That's the new sword. And you people, and it's so funny that when they look at the thing under the
Microscope.
light, under the microscope, they're able to see the things moving in it, man. And it looks like a weapon, man.
People want that in their body. They're bugged out, man. It says, "And they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh,
This one in there.
enter into the
It's
house.
another one.
Enter not
It's
into
another
the
one
house
right there.
of
Another
mourning,
umbrella. Right
neither
there.
go to lament, nor bemoan them." So we're not supposed to feel sorry for any of our family members that take the Beetlejuice, man. We're not going to be mourning for you, man, because you know in your spirit you shouldn't have took that. No, the warning, we gave you the warning already. Plenty of warning. You know? We told you the truth. Whether you wanted to receive it or not. So the blood is off our hands, man.
Right.
We're not mourning with you when shit goes left. Right?
your shit drop dead or you
No.
whoever, you're gonna know.
Time.
Because you never mourn with us.
Time.
Especially on the solemn holy days.
Time.
You rejoice on the solemn holy days.
Time.
You did your own thing.
It says, I have taken away my peace from this people, saith the Lord Yahweh, even loving kindness and mercies.
One umbrella.
Both the great and the small shall die in this land.
There's an umbrella right there.
They shall not be buried,
Yeah, it's another one in there.
neither shall men lament for them, nor cut themselves, nor make themselves bald for them. Neither shall men tear themselves for them in mourning to comfort them for the dead. No? Ain't gonna be no funerals, ain't gonna be no viewings. Alright? The type of death that's coming to this earth, man, is gonna be serious.
Well, remember when this outbreak first happened, they said that you can't even go to the funeral. So imagine when this new one, this outbreak happens, they're literally just gonna have to burn the bodies.
Yeah.
But they're gonna be like, yo, the bodies are infected. So they're just gonna in heaps. They're just gonna have a guy in a dump truck come and pick them up and just throw them in a big hole.
What was
and
the
light them on fire.
like? What was the article in the news about? If you want to get a transplant, you have to be with the Beetlejuice, something like that.
Yeah. I seen that
Yeah.
Going to the hospital, you can't get no service.
Oh yes. I did see that there was a lady. She was on the waiting list. She was next.
Yes.
And because she never took the snake bite.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh.
yeah. They bumped her off the list.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Carnage.
What is it?
Says,
That's the speaker.
What kind of what?
Israel. You have a person as a speaker.
Okay.
No. We're Israelites. Hebrew Israelites. You're an Israelite too.
see yourself on this sign here?
What down am I making? Okay.
What do you guys identify as? Are you Haitian?
What's in you?
Okay, so you'd be of the tribe of Benjamin, right? So we're all here calling out for our people, warning them that the time is short to repent, and to repent to their true God, Yahweh. You know? To get right, because as you see in the world, man, a lot of crazy shit's going on right now, you know? You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, World War III is coming, nuclear hellfire is coming, so we're telling our people to get right. There's a way to be saved out of all of that. You get what I'm trying to say? So that means turning to the Most High, following His laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? Not eating certain foods. Or contrary to popular belief, people think that the laws are done away with and you can eat whatever you want. You know what I mean? I'm just giving you an example. You can't eat pork or shrimp. If you're a man, you gotta grow out your beard. You know, simple things like that. I'm telling you to get right. That's simple things that you can use on your day-to-day to get right, because the time is short. You know what I mean? That's why we're out here telling our people, man, warning our people of the impending judgment to come on this place, man.
That's right.
What you see in this world is all wickedness. All right? All wickedness. All right? Nothing good is here. Nothing. All right? It's a very dark and demonic place. You know what I mean?
They not eat.
What do you say?
Dietary law.
Oh, Benjamin.
Benjamin.
So that there's a dietary law.
So hold on. He's asking a question. That's your biblical name. That's what we're known as today, right? Because remember, when we came over to this land, we never came with our true identity. Like an identity is not a color, so black can't be a nationality. West is a direction. Indian means savage, so that's not a nationality as well. But you have a historical nationality, which goes back to a man, because everyone's lineage can be traced back to one person, right? Where we all come from. Like for so-called Muslims, they can trace their lineage back to Ishmael, right? So for us, we would go all the way back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And then Jacob had 12 sons. Judah and Benjamin is one, and that's who you are. That's the tribe that you come out of. That you are a so-called West Indian. And the reason why we say so-called is because that's not a true nationality. or Jamaican or whichever island that you're from. That's not a true nationality. You were placed there to work on that island, like our foreparents. Our parents were always placed there. That wasn't a land that we chose to be. You know what I mean? We were forcibly put there, you know?
This is the land where you're supposed to remember who you are now. We're letting you know who you are according to the scripture, the Bible, King James Version. But that's your actual true history. Every book in there is part of your knowledge. Man. That's your history. If you want to know who you are, that's everything. Your customs, your traditions, all right? The holy days you're supposed to celebrate, things you're not supposed to celebrate, are in there. So you can download the Bible app on your phone, man. There's no excuse.
Or you can give him the YouTube.
Oh, that as well, yeah. We'll give you.
You can give him yours.
Fine. What's it called? So Gms Toronto. GMS. Right?
Here I just go on YouTube and type that in.
No, well, that's where we are. You'll see all our videos as well. And if you want more information, that's where we are. You can message us
And
anywhere.
then we're here every Saturday from 5:30 to 8 around. Alright, you know? 5 to 8. Stop by here and do the Alright, so YouTube us, keep it in your mind, alright? Yeah, man. Every Saturday we're here. Here.
G.
Yeah.
Alright, I like you guys. Thank you.
Real quick. This is the book about Baruch 2 verse 30 says that, for I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of the captivity shall remember themselves.
That's exactly what we did. You know? Every brother you see here, they remembered who they were, man. They woke up out of that deep sleep, that deep slumber. So what's the matter? You know? And we knew something was wrong, man. You know? We had anxiety. We didn't know. We didn't have the answers, man. And then we found the truth. It was relieving to us. You know? This is the place where we're supposed to remember, man. All the iniquities that we did in our lifetime and in the past lifetimes, man. You know? When you're really sincere, when you first come into this truth, you may have shed a tear, man. Shed tears. Like, damn. You know? Because it's how deep it is, man. It's the remembrance. You know?
Yeah, it says, verse 31 says, and I shall know that I am their Lord, Yahweh, their power, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name.
That's right. What can we do now, man? Praising the Most High in the land of our captivity, man.
Oh, that's what you were doing with that young Jake right now.
Fine.
Yeah, but she can show that.
You know, and we're fishing of men as well. So hopefully, you know, be sincere enough you can receive it. You know?
It says, verse 32, verse 33, it says, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord Yahweh. And I will bring them again into their land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it. And I will reduce them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, with their power. They shall be my people, and I will no more drive the people out of Israel, out of the land that I give to them.
That's right. This is the end game, you know? When the Most High establishes Israel. You know? Before the Most High establishes Israel back in their homeland, under the right rulership under Yahweh Shai. Alright? Judgment has to come, man. You know? Death has to come. The point has to be made. And you people thought you could work. You Israelites especially thought you could do wickedness and you get away scotch-free, man. Like there's not a tab you have to pay for that.
No, like there's not a power. Like Jake has reached such a point to where that's why they believe in the line called YOLO. Because they believe there's no judgment. When you say YOLO, you really believe there's no judgment. You really believe that everything that you do in this world or in this flesh, you're good. And you think that death is it. That's how far we've fallen from spirituality. We're a spiritual people, man. That's what it says in Romans, man. Right? When it's speaking about the Romans, it's talking about how we're a spiritual people.
Romans 10 verse 2 says, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge.
Read that again.
Romans 10 verse 2 says that for I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High.
Somebody get the word zeal. Get the word zeal. That's always been the spiritual component to these people on the tribe, to the people on the side. That's why these people are where? In churches, right? But we're away from that spiritual component to where we know there's something wrong with certain things that we do. Back in the day, it was in your spirit to know, being a booger or into boogery, you knew something was wrong. You knew something was wrong. That was not right. You knew that, okay, yo, there might be judgment from God. There were certain things that you just knew. You're like, yo, back in the day, it wasn't good for a woman to be out there the way they are today. People would be like, yo, are you crazy? Like, that's not cool. You bring shame. Right now,
it's not normal. It's not normal.
You have the word?
It's not normal. Look at the fact that you're going in the exit part and then you're catching virus.
Exactly. Yeah, God.
Messing around with
You're not
dude.
even catching virus, you catch rectal cancer.
Yeah.
That's not cancer after all.
Pussy, yeah.
All right. Zeal. Passionate order in the pursuit of anything. In general, zeal is an eagerness of desire